Hello, my name is Emily Ainelli of T Girl Angel, and I have some updates that I want to let people know about, my fans, friends, family, whoever's interested in what's going on with me, Emily, and my music associated act, T Girl Angel. I'm actually now working on a sixth album. I'm hoping to have it released within the next month or so. I have all the material. Now it's just a matter of going through the songs that I like, the writings and poetry, and then coordinating it for my next album. I'm still working on a title, and I'm also working on how to lay out the album. It's going to be similar to my album Random Thoughts and my album A New Day. Those albums both have 101 tracks. The only difference between those albums and this album is this album will only have 100 tracks because I think with Google Music you can't download the full album if it's more than 100 tracks. So, and on TuneCore, my distributor, I can do the album up to 101 tracks. So I'm going to cut it to 100 tracks, which in theory is like 4 albums if you look at it from the perspective of 25 track albums. So, and the album is going to be selling at a very reasonable price considering it's going to be 4 albums in one. I have a lot of recorded material, so I'm going to incorporate all of that into the album, and I think it will be a good album. I'm hoping that it will have some popularity with my fan base. You know, just basically learning the industry. And I know that it takes time. I also know that you have to have a lot of patience and you have to never give up. I never felt like I was going to become a star or anything like that, so I'm pretty even keeled on this whole project. I just like to do things from a creative perspective, and since I'm also transgender, I like to lend some of what I go through in my material. But I also am very diverse in what I do. I can bring a lot of things to the table, and I feel I have a lot to say and a lot to talk about and a lot to share. And you know, I'm very appreciative of the fact that I have fans, that people support me. You know, I have a friend or two who bought some of my digital albums, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I hope that over time people will say, hey, you know, T Girl Angel's pretty cool, and they think that I'm worthy of listening to and possibly adding my work to their digital album collection. You know, I do this basically because I feel a need to address important matters. I talk about autism, I talk about being transgender, I talk about what it's like to be a parent, I talk about life, I talk about tragedy, I talk about hope, courage, faith, you name it, I talk about it. And I do it in a way where I express my feelings, my emotions, and I let it shine through because that's who I am. I'm a genuine person, and I believe that we all should lend a bit of who we are into our work. You know, I come from a background of science and math and technology, so I never really had the benefit in my earlier days in tapping into my creative side. So now, as an older and more wiser individual, I feel it's very important to find a way to tap into that and show that side of you. I enjoy being creative. I enjoy showing that part of me and sharing it with those who are interested and listen to me. And I find that if you can touch one person, then you've done a lot, you know? And I feel that if I can help someone, that would be probably the most important thing for me. I don't look at it from a dollars and cents point of view. I never did. You know, obviously, as an artist, you want to be recognized. You want to be noted for your work. You want to be appreciated. So I'm no different than any other artist. I'm not like Katy Perry or anybody really popular. Vanessa Carlton, you know, Shania Twain. Uh, you know, I don't have that appeal, but you know, I am my own artist. I'm my own person, and I have my own ideas and I have concepts. And I'm working on an album, and I hope that it will draw attention and that people will like it. And I put a lot into my work, my writings, my recordings, because I feel that I take a lot of pride in what I do. You know, and I'm having fun with this, you know. When I was an engineer, I enjoyed what I did, but it's totally different, you know. Writing and expressing yourself and sharing your feelings and really digging deep inside of you is very important. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that. They don't have the insight or the their they hold themselves to a level of not being able to penetrate, and they have this exterior that they portray, and they never really are able to touch who they truly are. And I was able to break through, and I'm fortunate that I was, because I had a veneer and I pretended, but I'm very happy now. You know, I live a different kind of life, you know, and also very unique in many ways. And I am trying to find the proper forum to communicate and to share ideas and feelings and things that are going on in my life. And when I feel motivated, I write. And when I write, I put a lot into it. And I've been writing now for quite some time. And I feel good, you know, it helps me. And it allows me to be able to tap into that creative side, like I said. We all want to be artists. We all want to perform. I want to get up on stage. I want to show people what I have. I want them to realize, you know, that I have a voice and I speak it. And I can tell you that if you can find what it is that you're all about and you can portray it and show people, there's nothing more powerful. You know, when you feel you touched upon something very important and it affects you and the people in your life, and you can impart wisdom to other people based on your own experiences, that's powerful. You can't get more powerful than that. There is a certain amount of pride we take, and when we know that we are caring people and that we are doing something that we enjoy and that we can share it with other people, it makes it all the more fascinating, you know? And I'm having a ball now, writing and doing recording. You know, to be honest with you, I never thought that I would make albums, you know, and I'm an artist. If you go and check T Girl Angel on iTunes, you'll see me. You'll see my work. And hopefully you'll listen and maybe buy a digital album. But I'm not trying to pitch that. But I am also trying to present a message of hope, you know. And I have a very fascinating approach to life now. I look at things with a different perspective than I once did. I think it all evolved over time, but I also think being transgender has been a major aspect of my evolution. Not many people really know what it's like to be transgender. They don't understand it. You know, for me, I've always struggled with it. I knew when I was little that I was really a girl and that I wanted to live as a woman one day. You know, and I find that I'm much happier now as a woman, you know? Before, when I was struggling as a guy, I couldn't really find my way. Though I am fortunate that I married and I have a son and I love my wife and son very much. And I will always love them. They are my life. But I also am very happy to be living now as a woman because I'm much more content. And I feel that that's the way my life should be, you know? And I can't live a life of the tie, the suit, when it wasn't me. That was very constricting. And it wasn't what I was about. But as a woman, I'm very much in touch with my feelings and my emotions. When as a guy, I wasn't. You know, I had to put on that tough exterior and not tap into that. But now I know that I can cry and I can feel and I can. And that's the sad thing about society and what we're taught growing up, that there's a male mentality that he's not supposed to cry and he's supposed to be tough and not show emotion. And I don't really know why that's taught. I don't understand. You know, I think we as human beings should be able to feel and not be closed off, you know? But anyway, I'm all excited. I'm working on my new album. I'm going to work on some new writings that I'm going to put on my Reverb Nation page. And also, I'm going to probably have the album out on my distributing site within the next 2 weeks. And then I will do an update video discussing my new album and the title and the tracks. I have some tracks in mind that I already know are going to be on it. A lot are themed tracks. They have storylines. I also have been very influenced by Anne Frank in my life, so I have a couple of writings about Anne Frank. And I also have a writing about the girl in the red coat that was featured in Schindler's List, the movie. Um, I also have a writing about World War II. Couple of writings. One is about Pearl Harbor invasion, and one is about the horrors of the Holocaust. So some of the topics I discuss are not pleasant topics, but they must be discussed because it's part of the landscape of our life, and we can't ignore it. It happened, you know, unfortunately. Um, and I feel the greatest gift that we got was that diary from that young Jewish girl, Anne Frank. Sadly, she died, her sister died, and her mother died, and the father was the only survivor. And luckily, because he was able to get her story told to the world, and she was my hero growing up, Anne Frank. I was fascinated by her courage, knowing that she was living in a hideout, afraid that at any time they would be captured by the Nazis, which sadly did happen eventually. And she just wrote with hope in her heart. And her book, her diary, really touched me. And I think it played a big part in my writing, my wanting to write. And I think she's touched so many people in her short life, which sadly was taken away from her by hate and horror. I can't even explain it. I don't understand it. Just like I don't understand 9/11 and the bombings in Paris. I don't get it, you know? There are things that happen that we just don't understand. Oh, that's another featured uh, writing I'm going to show in my album about Paris. So I have a lot of things, good writings, and I'm happy and excited all about that. So I hope that you will tune in and see what Emily Ionelli is all about with her project, T-Girl Angel. T-Girl Angel is my name for my music, my writings and my music. Um, so indeed I am an artist. And it's a dream, really, for me. And I even may have an opportunity to speak my poetry at an event. I was asked by a friend who's a musician if I would be interested in performing, speaking. And I said, surely I would. They would allow me 20 minutes to do my speaking engagement. And it's a Valentine's Day theme. So I'm all excited, and I think it would be truly wonderful. And it would give me a chance to get my message out and share my feelings with people on a grand scale. After all, that's what we all want, is to be noticed, right? That's what I want. I want to be noticed. I want to be respected for who I am. And I want my message to shine through, a good message, a message of hope and love, just like John Lennon. John Lennon had a message of hope and love, but sadly it was taken away by hate. This is Emily of T-Girl Angel, signing off. I love you. Bye.